Taurus, this is the month of two eclipses, September of 2025. And one of those eclipses is so darn lucky. I think you might be getting a lot more career profits, career gains, maybe a new job, maybe a whole new career path out of it. But it is exciting and it is blessed by Lord Jupiter. So I can't wait to tell you about this month's astrology for your sign. The other thing I love about this month is the Lord of your sign, Venus, is moving into Leo in the fourth house, bringing you a lot more joy, fun, play, and pleasure in your home, and maybe luck in your home or from your home, as well as romance. So we will break down the whole month of September in detail by going through it chronologically, week by week, so that you can time your best life. The sky is meant to be used as a navigational tool to go with the flow, not against the flow. And that's what I love about astrology. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. I am using the Western Tropical Zodiac, and I'm a traditional astrologer. We love our whole sign houses, and that's what we're using today. All astrologers on YouTube must use that, but I won't explain it now. You know, I do teach astrology, so if you want to learn from me, I'm teaching my once a year program, September 27th. Add 6 weeks every Saturday, where you can come into a live Zoom call with me in a classroom setting where I'm teaching you how to time your best life using astrology as a navigational device. The program is Sky Reader. And I've taught this 5 times before, and I add new content. We have bonus teachers. There's weekly Q&A calls by me. There's a Facebook group and a Discord group. There's ways to meet other students, and you get to keep the content forever on my teaching platform, Thinkific. So I only teach this course live. I do not ever resell this product. So if you want to learn from me, you've got to come in to September's class. Information on the enrollment, including early bird discount code, may still be active by the time you see this video. Check it out in the description box below. Certainly the enrollment link will be open by the time you're watching this video. Thanks for listening, guys. I have a Taurus daughter, so I'm always thinking about you Tauruses. She's a Taurus son. I have a lot of Taurus friends as well. So you guys are fixed, stubborn, totally immovable objects, right? And sometimes, even though you don't like to move and you like to keep things the same, and I get that, that's totally a valuable way to be in this life. Eclipses are moving you in the month of September. And that's important to note because these eclipses are moving you in positive ways around the axis of good fortune and good spirit. Your fifth and 11th house are eclipse activated, sort of like it was back in 2006, 7, and 8. And so there's good luck and good fortune trying to find you. You will participate with this willingly. This is flowing to you. You are going to enjoy the ride. And so the September's eclipses are twofold. September 7th is a total lunar eclipse that brings you incredible positive luck and opportunity with work and profits in work and in career sector stories. And the other eclipse is September 21st in your fifth house of fertility, romance, children, and good luck as well. So what I'll be doing today is showing you the sky, because people on my channel like to learn to see the sky unfold so you can follow along with me. And I'm breaking it down in week by week increments, right? So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, as we look at the sky together. You might want to settle in, get a pen and paper so you can actually take some notes. I'll try not to go too quickly. All of my all signs drops are usually about 25 to 30 minutes for each sign every month. If you like this kind of content and you want more of it, please hit the like button and subscribe and share with your friends and family. Thanks, guys. All right. So Taurus, here you are. I put the ascendant at 0. You can listen for your sun, Taurus sun. It will relate primarily to matters of career and purpose. Taurus moon to home and nest and how you feel about reality. But for you, Taurus sun, it will relate primarily to your Taurus rising, to the character of you in the simulation, right? It's your avatar. And in a lot of ways, all 3 are valuable to listen to. So try all 3 today. And people always ask me, how do we do that? Well, we pretend the sun in Taurus is the first house. We pretend the moon in Taurus is your first house. We delineate as if they're placed in the first house in the sign of Taurus, and it's called derived houses. So Taurus, as we begin the first week of September, and I'm warning everybody about this, it is like the last week of September, difficult. Relatively speaking, difficult. Mars is in a square to Jupiter and Mercury will be squaring Uranus. There's a combination of calamitous, unexpected, challenging push shove energy here for everybody. For you, let's say it's a little bit like this story. Mars is in the sign of Libra and he's in his detriment right over here. Now, Mars in Libra is in a sign of debility. So he doesn't find his balance, and he's in your work house. Actually, he got here August the 6th, will be leaving September 21st. This is where you're unhinged, maybe. You want to quit your job. The boss is mean. The colleagues are gnarly. You're having challenges with the work environment. You're having challenges with your health, even finding a balance regarding health, especially around addictions and self-undoing. And Mars is not going to get out of this mess until September 21st. He's here like in this space every 2 years. It's really awkward for you when he's here, but he will square a very powerful and very strong Jupiter, knowledge, wisdom, truth, and luck. So there may be a moment of time around the Labor Day weekend timeframe where you're noticing this square is pushing and shoving you into some decisions and actions regarding work, regarding neighbors and neighborhood, regarding travel, regarding matters to do with social media and the neighborhood and the everyday world that you inhabit. And given that your health routines and everyday work and health routines are here, and this is your work, your everyday world, the neighborhood, the people you see on the daily, there's some kind of daily life habit routine crunching moment coming through the Labor Day weekend. You may be really looking at making a bold, courageous, wise change of direction in work and health matters. And Jupiter's helping you do that. Jupiter sextiles you as a Taurus. So when you guys are working together for knowledge and wisdom to perfectly help you, or actually help you with health and work routines and employee-employer stories and all of that. Okay. By the way, where Mars is traveling has to do with rental properties, and with Venus in Leo, you could be aiming, especially later in the month, to change where you live and secure a new rental property. And that's exciting, but it's not looking like it's possible or positive yet. That first week of September, getting a pet, getting a rental property looks like a challenge. You're probably barking up the wrong neighborhood tree. So be more patient here and don't jump the gun. You might make decisions regarding properties to rent or lease that are in hindsight not great, or to quit your job when you should have hung in there a little longer. So watch out for that first week. And also notice that Mercury is not talking in a nice way as well to Uranus. Mercury is all the news that's fit to print, and he's squaring Uranus. Now he's in his home kingdom, and Uranus is under his bidding in his other home kingdom. So Mercury has the upper hand. There's news, there's information coming connected to your children, if you have them, that may be disturbing, and it may be money in children or finances in children. There's information from a lover that may shock you. There's information about a creative or artistic project that may surprise you. But there are some financial elements with Uranus here. So some money surprises may be showing up as well. And this is the house of good fortune. And you never know. It includes winning money. So although it's not the most obvious way for this to play out, it could be a square demands your attention because you're shocked and surprised and need to take action on your winning lottery ticket. But otherwise, watch for some difficult conversations with children, finances and children, finances and your lover, and all of that kind of thing. You want to have fun. You know, Mercury's social. This is a house of pleasure. Uranus has got some kind of financial surprise, and maybe you can't do that leisure trip that you wanted to do, and you can't engage in the joyful travel that you were expecting. So there may be a hitch in the travel plans as well. Now, when we move into the 7th of the month, we have a total lunar eclipse forming in the sky. A total lunar eclipse is going to be blessed by Jupiter. And that's what I love about that eclipse. So here we have Lord Jupiter at 18 degrees and the North Node at 18 degrees as of September 2nd. That's wonderful. That's a beautiful flow in the sky between travel, learning, teaching, short distance travel, especially, and friends and groups of belonging. So you may indeed want to be traveling in destined ways and experiencing even greater career gains than you normally get if you're writing, teaching, marketing, or selling, or using social media. That's kind of a vibe, you know, the first 3 or 4 days of September. But as we move towards this eclipse on the 7th, you'll notice that the moon is here with Lord Saturn and the North Node, and it's full, and it is beautifully hooked up to Jupiter. So it is a blessed eclipse, and it runs out of steam 6 months from the September 7th timeframe. Okay. Kind of takes you back to events in your life, late 2006, throughout 2007, early 2008, similar eclipse cycle moving through our sky then. So you might have a massive breakthrough, positive shift in the 6 months that follow regarding increased financial gain in a lasting, enduring way from your career profits and your work salary payments, etc. You might meet a destined new friend, somebody that's fated to come your way, likely with an age difference, younger or older, and also that's going to be wise and knowing and generous, Jupiter. And if you meet that friend, you could be traveling, but you can meet them in the local neighborhood or in a learning community as well. But I love that Mercury is also with the sun and witnessing this whole thing across the way, and he's in great dignity. And this is an auspicious transit for him to be here on the South Node, because it could lead to really important turning points in your life regarding fertility. And this could lead to pregnancy for you or your partner in the 6 months that follows. If you don't want a baby and that's not up your sleeve, watch out. Uranus squares this, this Mercury. And in essence, it's a broad square, but it means that it could be a surprise pregnancy. But fated and destined, and what can you do, right? All right, so then September 7th to the second week, 7th to about the 21st, we're going to come into September 7th to the 14th, the second week, we're coming into some positive stories. I love this week, actually, guys, because it's only good shit happening. Now, I'm not talking about this triangle. That's kind of like geopolitical and world events, but it's in the backdrop of your sky all months of September. And basically, it's saying something like, get over your addictions, in shocking ways, change your dietary habits and styles with break-free breakthrough, and elevate your career success. All of September. That's the story for all Tauruses. Okay. And for some of you, it might be radical career change and money, earnings, income changes connected to far shores and distant places. So there's that vibe going on all month long. But what I'd like to really point out to you, and I think it's really critical to note this, is that the Sun and Jupiter are going to work in tandem together in what we call a sextile, which is grace, ease, flow, and luck. And that's because the sun moving through the sign of Virgo is going to talk to Jupiter, and they want to work out something. It starts to be felt even as early as September 7th. It becomes exact around the 11th, and it begins to fall apart more or less by the 13th, 14th. So we'll just say that you kind of really are loving the vibe, September 7th to the 14th, when the sun is telling you to, with Jupiter, careful, Jupiter makes babies, get pregnant on a trip, you or your partner. The sun is telling you to allow for some super bright light to shine on your art, your talents, your entrepreneurial endeavors, your creative projects, and allow for prosperity in teaching and marketing and selling and social media landscape. It's great for launching a project into the social media landscape or a course or something like that. I do want to say that your children belong to the 5th house, and the sun could give you blessed news coming from your child that surprises you, including one of your children being pregnant. Hopefully that's something you're looking forward to. That could look like the sky. It's a flow. And if you're in entrepreneurial businesses and using online stuff, this is a blessed time for you to promote something, to launch something, to get something going. So I love that September the 7th through the 14th is being felt by you. And then on the 12th, go back a day. It's pretty exact around the 12th. We're going to see Mercury going into the sun's conjunction to the sun. Now, this is going to be fated and destined new beginnings in the house of pregnancy, fertility, love, romance, creativity, and entrepreneurial endeavors. Also the house of your existing children. Fated new beginnings, but also South Node, maybe needing to let go, release, and surrender something. A new beginning that can be witnessed by you as 6 weeks unfold from this reset button of headquarters, divine intelligence telling Mercury what to do. And flows to you as a Taurus. You love the vibe. You're saying, yes, thank you. I'll take it. You don't mind this at all. And, Jupiter's still engaged. So Jupiter says, lucky breaks. Maybe you're going to win the lottery at a local kiosk. Maybe you'll play a bingo hall or a local casino and hit the jackpot. Who knows? Otherwise, we're still working on the fertility stories in the 6 weeks that follows this reset button, September 12th, add 6 weeks. Who's pregnant? You or your children? Or are you giving birth to a creative project that will be very fruitful, especially if it's entrepreneurial? That was the second week of September. What about the third week? Well, we're going to start off with the eclipse on the 21st. This is an eclipse that is a partial solar eclipse. It is happening in Virgo. We had a Virgo eclipse here in March of 2025. This is now, that was lunar. This is now solar. The solar eclipse is a reset button that lasts a year. It's got fate and destiny written all over it, and it's going to be happening at 28 degrees of Virgo. The moon will be there. She's not there now, but I'm not going to tinker with the chart. Just trust me on this. So the moon on September 21st, it's not even worth trying to go back, is it? Let me see if I can get the moon there. Well, the moon's moving too quickly. On September 21st, the moon will be on the sun at 28 degrees and 50 something odd minutes. It's a fame degree. It's kind of a household name degree. So any of you Tauruses who are celebrity prone, you're an actor, you're a writer, you're an artist, you want to have some household name fame. I think this is a good one to go for. Go for it. In the year that follows, put all your heart and soul into your art, your creativity, and your entrepreneurial projects. You could be very successful. Perhaps. Downfall, Venus is in her fall with this process. It is inauspicious for starting new love stories, in my humble opinion. For artists, if you're a master of your craft, you're a method actor, you're like Meryl Streep of the acting industry, go for it. But a fallen Venus here, South Node, fate and destiny, past lives, eclipses could eclipse a relationship that's existing. The romantic love story could fall apart. It doesn't necessarily have to, but it could. Or a new relationship would start under fated and inauspicious circumstances. And I really would say in the first 3 months after this eclipse or the first month before it, please don't start new love stories. You're going to get a complication here. Venus is in her joy. For the artists and creatives in the world who are Taurus and the entrepreneurs, and you're on your detail focus, this is excellent for you. Now, this is also an eclipse that possibly, given that Saturn is across the way, will have a lot of hardship or endurance attached to it. If you want to be famous, you want to be entrepreneurial success story, you want to be an artist on your A game, you have to work at it. But you may also bring in allies and benefactors who are experts or who are authoritative, who are engage in your success. Because if this eclipse is handled right, you're going to increase your career gains from it. If you are looking at the creative entrepreneurial storylines, right? This is not your day job under the boss's thumb necessarily, right? Venus is a fertility god, inner joy. Again, it's a pregnancy fertility eclipse as well. I've been nagging you guys about it. 100 Ways to Sunday. Watch out for fertility. Unexpected. In this case, over the year that follows this eclipse. Moving forward into the story of the next thing that you should pay attention to. You're going to notice in our sky that on about September 14th, the cosmic, I'd say you start to feel it as early as the 12th, 13th, the cosmic lovers begin to hook up. Now, what you've noticed is, by the way, we're on September 21st, right? Did I jump to the eclipse on the 21st? Did I actually do? Yeah, I did the other stuff. I might have jumped further ahead than I wanted to. Excuse me. Let me go back in time. This is what happens with my brain, right? Yeah. So I did September 1st, the 7th to the 14th. Let's go back a little bit and go back to the 14th, right? Venus and Leo, beauty in the home, love in the home, art in the home, beautiful home, decorate your home. Been doing this. If you wanted to do that, you've been able to do that starting August 25th to September 18th. Okay, keep that in mind. But I wanted to go back to some earlier stories I might have missed. So September 14th to the 18th, before the September 21st eclipse, Venus is sextiling Mars. This is the cosmic lovers, we call them. This is like what we want to desire to get. And Venus desires something, Mars will fetch it for you. Maybe that's the simplest way of putting it. You'll take the actions and decisions to execute the desire. This is really ideal for finding a new property to live in, especially if it's a rental property, or find the ideal tenant for your rental property, or find the ideal job close to home, or the ideal work from home opportunity. This is playing out really beautifully for you. It's like engaging nicely as early as about September 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. I mean, what's to complain about? I'll even give it to the 19th, right? When she switches signs. So September 11th to the 18th, get that rental property, get that pet, get that job close to home, get that prosperity thing going in the home and from the home, get the beautiful tenant that you've always dreamed would be your tenant, whatever, or rent a place. Anyway, I don't know. It's good. It's positive. It's beautiful. It's luscious. It's super helpful because Venus is the ruler of your sign and she's working the magic for you. Around here, watch Mercury. This is complicated. I'm not enjoying trying to explain it to people, but Mercury will be at the end of the sign here of Virgo, and he will be opposite Saturn. And you'll find that maybe on September 16th, 17th, you might have a very gnarly vibe ongoing where you're pushing against somebody else, a friend, and you, maybe somebody connected to your career situation or colleague situation, maybe some push pull between fun and enjoyment and obligations for work and profits. It's just a gnarly day or two. And that is part of a kite, but it's not really. The kite is really this. Then Mercury moves on the 18th and 19th, and you feel tension connected to work and health matters and addictions, self-undoing, and maybe some problems with somebody in a hospital setting. And you're having to cope with that information and news. And Mars is keeping you out of balance and unstable and overreacting to situations. This definitely could have you wanting to quit your job as well. But I mean, you could be walking in drunk and hungover to the office and having conflicts with the boss or other people and flying off the handle. Do not drink with this combination and expect your work to go well the day after. So the 18th and 19th, be careful for sober issues of some sort or addiction complications here. You could have your own downfall. You could get fired from a job even. As we go forward, Taurus, like this, and we move to the eclipse, which I covered prematurely, we'll notice that Mars and Venus have changed signs. And as I said, on September 22nd, did I say this? As I am saying, on September 19th, Venus moves into her fall in Virgo through to October 14th. Because she's in her joy with the South Node, again, we still see the pregnancy story going on for you or your partner, but the fall might indicate an unexpected pregnancy or an unplanned or badly timed fertility moment. Keep that in mind. And romance that starts under this may be fated but difficult. New romance. But then Mars is also changing signs, and he'll move finally out of your workspace where you might have felt really conflicted about your job or work matters or home matters or health matters, inflammation, heat, rashes, acne, kidney and urinary tract issues even. That might have been a big thing you were dealing with Mars and Libra. That might not have felt so great, August 6th to the 21st. But now we get out of that story. And on the 22nd to November 3rd, he's moved in 22nd of September to November 3rd. He's moved into his great dignity in your 7th house. If you're a single Taurus, this could bring a very passionate new love story to you, especially if you're looking for love. Even though Venus is fallen, he will be in a whole sign kind of vibe of flowing to her. So there may be a destined, fated new love story for single Tauruses coming through the sky, September 22nd to November 3rd. As he crosses into this part of our sky and we start to notice what he's up to, right? What is he doing? He's mostly just biding his time. He's mostly just going to try to make changes in your audience, marketplace, clients, public, and love life stories. But he could also fracture legal agreements and break them. Legal contractual fracturings can happen under this energy as well. Now, the sun will trine Uranus and it will oppose Neptune. And there's a complicated kite involved here as well. The sun at 0 degrees of Libra activates a kite. I will do a whole video on this. I cannot cover it here, but there's something that radically wants to change in the work and health environment in your life to pull you away forever and ever from addiction, self-undoing, and bad habits. This also could get you work environments that move you to a new place in a distant shore or far off land. That's another possibility. Some of you could even use this energy to make massive changes to your health using techniques like hypnosis or past life regressions. And that's all good and dandy. That's going to be around September the 22nd, 23rd. But also the sun is trining Uranus, which is good, and trining Neptune, Pluto, which is good. And this solar trine energy makes a big, beautiful air trine in the sky. Something is lifting off in your money, work, and job life story. You got your dream job. You got a raise. You got a promotion. This is what I love about this for you. So that's taking off. That's positive energy. You'll feel it September 23rd, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. You may be extremely fortunate and very happy with a new job opportunity, for example, or taking the interview for your dream job or hearing the call back about it. This is if you're self-employed, your work stuff is going really well and you're getting greater and exciting gains in your career, some jumps in your financial income level as well. Mars in the last week of the month is a pain in the ass. Mars is going to enter here, well, he is here, and square Pluto. As you can see, he's doing it already as he enters into the sign of Scorpio. I forgot to mention that. So you noticed it already on the 21st, 22nd. Yeah, 23rd. Yeah, okay. So here's what I got for you. Pluto is in the house of authority figures, father figures, maybe the boss. Mars is in the house of agreements and contracts and deals. Are you making one? Because Mars is strong here, that you have to sign a contract? And is there some kind of battle or intensity around decision making regarding legal contracts? If you're in a relationship that's stressed out, is there a fracture point here in the relationship? That's possible. The Mars placement here could really have you needing to make decisions about a significant long-term love story, or the partner is making those decisions in the relationship itself. But because of the square to Pluto, there's power struggles as well regarding father figures, regarding people connected to your work environment, authority figures, etc. It's not the worst sky I've ever seen because Venus is flowing, your Lord is sort of flowing to it all. But I'd be careful here. I would be careful about breaking agreements because it could have bad outcomes that you weren't anticipating, even with Jupiter flowing to Mars in a general way. Ultimately, there's going to be a beautiful sky connected to your 3rd house, 7th house, and 11th house later on in the narrative in October that's quite glorious. And it could really open you up to some powerful new changes in relationship and career profits as well. At this time, I'd say advising you to time your best life at the last week of the month, particularly September 22nd to the 28th. Do not engage in battles with people who are out to get you and could compromise your success in your career. This is like open enemies coming at you with swords. Take a couple of deep breaths, back off, back down. It's not worth it. That's my advice for you. I'm doing something fun for every sign. I'm drawing a word from the dictionary. I was getting too bright to record in my window. Yeah. So I'll have to stop my recording today. And I got, it's so funny, what I got the word for the Aries was a ladybug, and they have a luck transit with Venus in their 5th. And I can't believe I didn't make this up. I landed on the word partner for you. Well, you can't see it, but you're going to have to trust me. The word is partner. Well, I'm talking about Mars in your 7th house. And you could have some fractures in business partnerships or long-term love partnerships. But at the same time, if you're single, that Mars transit going through Scorpio, and he'll be there, as I said, September 22nd to November 3rd, could just separate you from an existing love partner. You're traveling, they're traveling, there's time apart. But if that's not what's happening, it can fracture the relationship. Right. So you got to be careful there. And that square to Pluto is extremely gnarly the last week of September. And it could break you right down in a relationship, cut it off and end it. So you did get the partner word, just means partner. Focus on at the last week of September through to November 3rd, partner preservation strategies. All right. Oh my God. Okay. I'm blindingly bright and white. Okay. Ciao, everybody. I can't take the light. See you in the next video next month. Don't forget to join me in Sky Reader. Love to see you there. Ciao, ciao.